Is destroying your body for viral money a power move, potentially even a villain power move if you get back to your original body? Nikocado Avocado is back. He's lost a ton of weight. He's completely changed his tone from a grotesque character into a man who he claims or he portrays to be a genius who knew what he was doing and was always 2 steps ahead. Is he the villain that he claims he is, or was he played just as much as he claims to be playing everyone else? Conspiracy theory. I assume Nick and I are pretty close in age. The way that his villain video sounded, it reminded me of a horror movie from 2008 called Untraceable. I wonder if he saw it and that's where he got his inspiration. Set in Portland, Oregon, the film involves a serial killer who rigs contraptions that kill his victims based on the number of hits received by a website, killwithme.com. Basically, the killer sets up this website, and the more people that log on and view his live stream, the faster the victim dies. The idea that the more eyes are glued into this grotesque situation, people can't look away, and at the same time, they're speeding up the demise of the victim. It reminds me of this movie because of his comments about how he is forcing people to pay attention to him. That's his strategic play, whether or not it's of their own volition. They are like ants or like sheep. Overall, it was really tough to get through his villain video, as I would say, because of the overbearing condescension. And that is not to say that people in his comments were genuinely applauding him. They're like, man, you lost so much weight. We're so happy for you. You're definitely healthier than you were when you were eating everything that you were eating before. And he chooses to call those people who are supporting him, and genuinely everyone, but ants. Like, he's observing ants on an ant farm, or even calling them peasants at some point. And re-summarizing his point, he's basically saying that he's been hyper aware of how his actions trigger engagement and hate from the audience, and while everyone has been calling him sad and irrelevant and unhealthy, in fact, he's been the one in a position of power. You can see that over the 8 years that Nikocado Avocado made his content, his portion sizes continue to get more exaggerated. His character became more exaggerated. He started doing weird things like picking chicken nuggets off the floor and putting them in a blender, eating this blue goop that almost looks like paint on ramen. In his villain video, he says, "Ha, I was in on it too. I was doing it intentionally to get engagement farming and views and viral money." Is it really the strategic play of the century to eat pounds and pounds of unhealthy dyes and foods in order to get views and money? In his villain video, he also reiterates how much the past 8 years have seemed like a dream, but he reiterates that he loves foods and he loves mukbangs. What seems to me is that at some point he came to a crossroads that all creators come to, which is to decide whether or not to go for virality or to continue being authentic to yourself. If you choose virality, you will be giving up pieces of yourself, you will be acting, you'll be engaging in things that you wouldn't ordinarily do. It's a show. And every creator questions, do I do a follow-up of my most popular video, or do I continue going down my well-trodden path? So cool, he chose the views and the money. If Channing Tatum pulls off his shirt on TV, is he pulling a fast one on the simple-minded audience, or did the demands of the audience force him to do something that he otherwise wouldn't want to do? Is he catering to the audience? Maybe even unwillingly. It's really the same idea as sex sells in marketing and why movies have to have attractive leads, attractive actors. Is it really a villain move to cast a really handsome man in a movie because people will show up just to see him take his shirt off? Sure, then you know what? Everyone in the film industry is also a villain. Everyone in marketing and in sales while you're at it is also a villain. But that's where the ego part is a little bit tricky and icky. I feel like there's certain elements of it that I think he thinks he's pulling a fast one over everyone. So for example, he's always clean shaven so that you don't know whether or not he sits back down when the clip jumps and he's on the same day as he claims he is, or he's on a completely different day. Also eye roll because there's this conspiracy theory that he actually filmed these videos like way long back, like before he even gained a lot of weight. Then he directs the viewer to a different video, which is a clip in his second channel. And in that second clip, he's a lot nicer. He's saying, you know, if you really want to, would love to and appreciate your time if you were to follow me on this new channel. But however, a key part of the villain guidebook, handbook, is don't admit that you're a plotting mastermind, or else any kind of niceness that you show, that you try to connect to your viewers, it really just feels inauthentic. And yes, clickbait works. People have innate curiosity to see something that they wouldn't themselves do, or to see people do outlandish things. In his second channel, if he doesn't do clickbait stuff, you know what? He's not going to get the views. And people are going to maybe continue following him, but the view count on his videos is going to be low. People will just be curious to see what he does next and waiting for the next catchy thumbnail title. He definitely has a major head start because he already has 1 million followers on his channel that he only has one video on. But you know what? At the end of the day, we are just human. Like, if you are going to be blogging or vlogging, some of your days are just going to be average. Yes, he can capture that virality if he goes back into the category of humiliation and the grotesque. Kind of what Mr. Beast is doing. He has all those videos on basically like, I'll give you money, like some, 100K, 500K if you spend like 30 days away from your family, 30 days locked up in a grocery store. People click on it and they're watching it, cringing, feeling sad for the person in that situation and rooting for them. But you know what? Like, that is what clickbait is. Overall, the point is ruining your body for money, not staying true to your authentic self. All of that has a time limit because there is only so much energy you can do to maintain that facade, maintain that character that you are playing. That being said, all of us need a self-indulgent ego trip just to shield our confidence, protect our self-esteem. That's also okay. And Nikocado decided to make his public. If he ever ends up watching this, what I would say to him is have your victory moment, have your body back. That is incredible. You pulled a fast one over all of the haters, but everyone who was rooting for you is really glad to see you back in a healthy state. And they only wanted the best for you in the first place. Stay on it, my friends, and I'll see you in the next one.